My grandparents settled in Rotenburg ob der Tauber in 1873. They bought a small house and opened a business selling yard goods, men's shirts, underwear, and work clothing. Business was good, and shortly before my father was born, they moved into a larger home. My father grew up and, as expected, entered my grandfather's business. A fitting marriage was arranged for him, and in 1909 he married my mother, the youngest of 6 children. I was born July 24, 1916, at our home. I was healthy but tiny and spoiled by everybody in the house. Even my rough and tumble brother adored me. By 1918, my father was discharged from the Army with many decorations for bravery and the Iron Cross, 2nd and 1st class. I was 2 years old when we met for the first time and did not understand the situation. We became close as I grew up. I adored him and he indulged me totally. When I was quite young, we adopted a medium-sized gray dog of questionable ancestry. Lux was a woolly gray fuzzball, and I fell totally and hopelessly in love with him. The feeling must have been mutual because Lux was at my side every waking moment. There were maybe 20 Jewish families in Rotenburg. My best friend Clothy was one. Her father was the kosher butcher. Their house and store were about a block up the street from ours. We were just 6 months apart in age and pretty much the same size. We often dressed alike, and strangers mistook us for twins. Once we were in school, we were inseparable. Clothy and I were allowed to roam at will in the afternoons between the end of the school day and supper time. The small town and surroundings were safe then, and there was no motor traffic to speak of. There was a bakery 2 houses away from us. They were pioneers in ice cream and had the first machine in town. Many afternoons I'd go get a cone. Children didn't carry money as everyone knew everybody else. They would simply send a bill to mother. My grandparents, my father's parents, lived with us, and many evenings after supper I would go downstairs to visit them. Grandma always had some chocolate or delicious cookies for me. On Sunday afternoons, after the business closed, the whole family would go for long walks in the beautiful surroundings. I was 9 when my grandma died. After that, my grandpa moved up to the guest room on our floor. I spent many hours listening to the stories he told. He was a dear man who lived with us until his death when I was 15. I really missed him. By 1932, the idyllic childhood I knew was ending, and our lives took a turn for the worse.